That is the most horrifying baby I've ever seen in my life. Oh God! Oh, dodge! Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and you're here watching Aisha Watches Anime. We're watching My Hero Academia Season 8, Episode 4, which is called Quirk Explosion, which is probably by Murder Death God. I never remember BakuGOAT's full hero name, I'm sorry. But in the last episode, that's exactly what we saw, is that Bakugo, not only is he back, but he is accessed and tapped into a level of his power he's never had before. You know, I guess the near death experience really pushed him to a new level. And not only was he able to save his hero, his childhood hero that he's felt a lot of guilt towards, All Might, but he's actually giving All for One not only PTSD, but a real run for his money, because he did not expect that this lower person was supposed to get his attention. So this is absolutely the distraction and the time that Midoriya probably needs in order to somewhat continue to rein in what's going on with Shigaraki. So yeah, I guess we're going to see more of what's going on with BakuGOAT in this episode. So let's jump in without further ado, but please do hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be in the know when I drop episodes. There we go. All right, that out of the way. Let's get the episode right now. A cell. Mitosis? Damn. Guess she's fine. All right, so she's drinking while pregnant. So we were watching like twins. Oh, this is All for One and One for All's. Is this their OG story? That actually really happens sometimes, where one twin kind of takes up. Oh my God. Everything. Oh, yep, definitely. See the hand? Wow, that was a really dark opening. A mom that didn't care enough to stay sober. Maybe she had depression or something, but that, and then how the hell did they end up in a ditch? Meta. That would happen. Maybe they weren't coming after you. Did you ever think about that? Oh. The child of the corn, it's fine. Carriers? It's not a disease. Okay. He said you will not ignore me. Oh, look at the other one. Okay, you know what? That's literally Rosemary's baby. That's a baby from hell. Aww, you've always had a good heart. But he survived. Belong to him. What an interesting mindset. And a horrifically abusive relationship. What? I have so many questions about how these babies learn to like do anything without any adults. Thank goodness. Your brothers brought a lot of evil. I get it. Is that kindness? Feels more like possession, but... Why is that strange? Oh, you took the glowing baby's power. That's where you got it from. And you wanted the evil lord's path? Oh, is this kid evil from birth? Darling. Yep, since birth. Since the womb, apparently. How so? Okay, so he actually gave him his power. You were the first thing ever given to me. No, I'm good. He didn't even want to share a wound with you, bro. So he was supposed to be quirkless, or I'm trying to still figure out if he really did give him the quirk, or if he had one and just didn't manifest the way that I guess All For One would have known. That is the definition of a toxic relationship. Oh, yeah, because that's a demon. They're talking about All For One. Yeah, there's no humanity in whatever that thing was. Okay, answer my question. Ah, so it was there. Okay, answer my question. Gotcha. See, greedy from the womb. Two? You've been invaded. Malformed again, that word. Ah. Yeah, he's insane. That's literally the definition of insanity. A little considerate? The hand on the face is very Shigaraki-like. Sure. Because you don't want to be found. Deal with it. Disappointment. Wow. Such a big man. That's right. Kudo said you shouldn't have killed me, bro. I think you should. For the plot. Come on. Yep. Oh, all this hard maths. What to do? Okay. Oh my God. That woman literally gave birth to the devil. That is disgusting. Oh, good God. Everyone get out of the way. Sure? Oh, Bakugo, please be okay. Okay, but that's not a goodbye, right? That was already hard enough last season. Oh my God, that is the most grotesque thing they have. Dodge? I don't think he plans on dodging. That is not something Bakugo often does. His blood. Oh, but his sweat and blood is everywhere. You really don't understand his quirk, do you? That is insane. Good job, Bakugo. Oh, God. Yes, you can, Bakugo. Period. One quirk that you know how to use. Let him know. That is an amazing shot. You look disgusting. Not anymore. He's the main character. I would say. Right in his mouth. Oh my God, the Stitches Bakugo, no. That's right, shut up. Monologuing for 8 seasons. Oh, you didn't figure that out from last season? Not your quirks ganging up and bullying you. There goes the glove. Yeah? Exactly. Nope. It's about the future. Please stay alive. That's right, our story, academia. Take your old ass home. Okay, let's not say that, we're not sure. But he definitely did some work. I don't know if you can. I mean, you gotta give All For One. He is tenacious. You can't say the man's a quitter. What? Oh, here comes the deep psychological explanation. Uh-huh. That is the most horrifying baby I've ever seen in my life. Bakugo's goes like, I don't give a damn if you a baby. Oh. No. I still feel like All For One could do something. It's true. Oh God. Oh, dodge. Nope. Oh my God. Betty Boy! He said you go to bed for life. Not an embryo. Yay, the quirks people get their quirks back. Right, reverse mitosis. Great callback to the beginning of the episode. You better survive. You understand me? Exactly. Right back at you, BakuGOAT. Yeah, it's like now you just gotta deal with Shigaraki. Oh, that was a great episode. BakuGOAT, BakuGOAT, BakuGOAT. Oh, well, this season has been hitting. Every episode hit. Like the animation, the storytelling. I mean, 8 seasons to get to some of the history on All For One that we didn't know. I mean, we had quite a bit of pieces here and there that have been filled in via All Might, or what a lot was last season and the season before when we actually got to see the, Yoichi, I guess you could say, talking through Midoriya. But this is our first real life perspective from, I guess you can say, the Omniscient. I was going to say it was from All For One's perspective, but not really, because the point is, we now know that sadly the start wasn't great. Their mom, we don't know what happened there. We don't know who their daddy is. Mom was clearly not a happy woman. Like I said, drinking while you're pregnant, that's usually an indicator that the mom, I mean, she could have had an addiction, but it was giving that she didn't care, unfortunately. And there's so many reasons why she could have gotten to that point. But digressing, we see that in their situation from the womb, All For One was dominant and selfish. And again, I'm not blaming him for the stuff that happened in the womb. He obviously didn't have any control over the fact that I guess they're saying it was basically his quirk that caused him to absorb almost everything out of his brother. So if I understood what I saw there correctly, and there was a lot, they were giving us a lot of info, so forgive me if I missed a few things, but I get that it was probably because they were describing that some of the quirks you're born with, while other quirks are ones you grow into or like manifest in puberty. It looks like All For One was the latter. He was, or the former, I should say. He was in the womb. His quirk was already manifesting. And because of his quirk, it started to pull everything from his brother, his life energy and his quirk as well. But because his quirk as a baby, as a developing baby, All For One wasn't able to pull the entirety of the quirk out of his brother. It just caused it to not develop properly, just like he barely developed. His brother barely made it. We saw this stark difference between the two of them when they were born. But there was this fierce survival instinct in All For One that, is admirable despite everything, right? Because we see that their mom was dead very shortly after they were born, practically as newborns. We have no idea. Maybe she died in childbirth. But we see that All For One is a miracle baby, was, basically crawled up, got himself food, and somehow took care of himself and his little brother to the point where they were able to support themselves. Now, I mean, they left that part out because a lot of it's quite unbelievable, but that's okay. We're living in a world of quirks. But coming back, we see that the relationship is really what's always been very curious to me between All For One and Yoichi, or One For All. Like, how do we get here? How do we get to a point, like, does he care about his brother? Why does he want his brother with him when clearly they're in complete completely opposite sides of belief systems. And from what I'm getting in this episode, it really is that, All for One there was something wrong with him from the get-go. There's no doubt about that. Someone who, a child that wants to kill instantaneously, that's just not normal. But the weird kind of, like I said, it's more like an obsession that he has with Yuichi. And it feels like it's like he doesn't ever believe, how do I put this? It's like he never believed that anything wanted him and that anything was for him, in the sense of like willingly for him. And so and maybe it's because we saw that in the flashback that as soon as quirks became a thing, human nature, it got othered and people started to hate them and want to do things to get rid of them. And maybe he just figured that, oh, well, like if I came into this world, I don't have my mom, and now y'all are coming at me, you're trying to kill me because of something I was born with. Maybe that's what kind of broke any ideals that he had about the world or wanting to protect the world in any way. But either way, we see that he always, even though he abused Yoichi, he also never, like we saw, he never thought about leaving him. He never thought about a life where he wouldn't be right there beside him. And him saying that you're the one thing that was given to me, so you have to be with me. So that's a very interesting perspective. And I'm not 100% sure where that would fall into, because I am not a psychiatrist, but it's just an interesting take in that sense of possession he feels over his brother. But also, like I said, I don't think he wants his brother dead. Like when he killed him in that tunnel, there was regret. Like it was very much a knee-jerk reaction, because he just thought, the very classic, if I can't have you, no one can. But he didn't want his brother to be gone. And then of course we see later on that he tried to force a quirk on his brother because he thought his quirklessness is why his brother didn't agree with his twisted mindset. But, through his own analysis, he figured out that his brother always had a quirk, but it just was underdeveloped, and him forcing this is what I'm getting, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like his forcing the quirk on Yuichi is what activated the malformed quirk and actually turned it into a fully formed one. But as we learned last season, his quirk doesn't work on its own. It's got to go into another vessel. It doesn't work in one singular, or it can't work with other quirks, and it's got to be in a singular vessel. So all that to say, that's where it all started. And we see that later on, when All for One had time to really think about the fact that he had killed the one thing that he cared about, we see that he blamed it all on Kugo, right? He's like, it's your fault. If you hadn't taken my brother from me that day, I wouldn't have killed him and none of this would have happened. And that's really not it, obviously, right? We've said multiple times, like, his brother was ready to go a long time ago. As soon as he saw that his brother had no affection or kindness or regard for human life, he wanted out. But he was so weak physically. And also, like he said, there was a part of him that still wanted to believe that there was good somewhere in there. And that's kind of what kept him around. But the first chance that he got to leave, he took it. And so anyway, it's just good to see kind of why that emotional reaction triggered in All for One, because he's been pretty controlled up until now. The only other emotion we've seen him show is anger at All Might, because All Might was one of the people that almost took him out the first time. But other than that, nothing really like emotional. But hearing that Bakugo's resolve, that inner strength, that resoluteness, right? He believed, because it was so much like what he saw in Kugo all those years ago. Like he killed Kugo, and we heard he killed Kugo, killed his family, killed everyone, because he felt like Kugo had something special that made his brother turn against him instead of, again, turning that mirror around. Like he was like, I wiped that out. There was no way that guy could have had kids that could come back and be the same way that this guy was. But it obviously, like, we don't know. I mean, obviously there could have been more relatives he didn't know about, but really, I think it's just, he was reminded of that intensity, that resoluteness, that lack of fear, right? All for One, we know, we even saw it in the flashback, he thrives on people being scared of him, right? He's like, yeah, the heroes, yeah, they hide. They don't really, they're always doing things in the shadows, but you see how the evil guy, the so-called evil guy, people follow him and they listen to him through fear. That's what I want. I want people to look at me because I'm the only one that they should focus on, right? Narcissism. So anyway, the fact that Kugo was someone who didn't give a damn about all that, like even though it cost him his life, he's like, I don't give a damn. You're never getting your brother back. And we both are like, to hell with you. That's what got to him, right? And he saw that in Bakugo. Bakugo, this episode, Bakugo, the way he's just like, I'm doing what I got to do. What did he say to All for One? He's like, I'm your final boss. You're not going. You're not getting over there. There is no more for you. You've done enough. I'm it for you. I'm finishing this. And the fact that he did that, as we saw, his chest is still wide open. Those stitches are not done. Homie coughing up blood. Normally his sweat comes out with his quirk. Blood was coming out, but he charged even that because he was that determined to end this fight one way or another. Like that kid, he's the growth, because I'm telling you, season 1, season 2, Bakugo wouldn't have been able to do this. And not because he was lacking in strength and not because of the level up of his powers, but because at that point in time, he didn't understand the real reason that people like All Might fought to that level, but he got there. That growth from season 1, the looking at Midoriya, how Midoriya became the way he was, the determination, the sheer will in that kid, that's what taught Bakugo what it really meant. It wasn't just about having the quirks. It wasn't just about having the power. It's about having that will and determination. And as we saw him acknowledge, I couldn't have gotten here without my class, without my teachers. Like, they all got me here. So just, love the growth. Like, that is such an amazing growth arc for Bakugo from season 1 to now. Like I said, did not like season 1 Bakugo or even season 2. This Bakugo is BakuGOAT, and we love him. And I love that he also said that one quirk is enough, right? All for one. All them quirks he had in there, which, how gangster was it that the quirks were in there like, It said, oh my God, you losing, man. We gonna stand over here while you just sit there and have a tantrum and lose. That was hilarious. But anyway, great episode. All for One is no more. He did too much. He overplayed his hand. Thank God. That arrogance in that narcissism, that's thankfully what ended up being his downfall. He couldn't account for the fact that, yes, one little kid, as he put it, this one simple quirked kid took him down. Couldn't fight it, couldn't do it. So yeah, rewound himself right back to the womb, right back to being a singular cell. And now Shigaraki is the only last left thing. Like he said, there's still a little remnant of him left in Shigaraki. Now it is up to my guy Midoriya, and I guess whoever's left. And Shigaraki, I feel like it's gonna be a hell of a, there's still a lot of demon left in that kid. Let's put it that way. So great episode, guys. This season is absolutely amazing. I can't believe it's the last one. It's so good that I want another one now. But I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed watching with me. If you did, show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.